outlet to stand. People are desperate for cash at this time. Some people would go on to commit criminal vices in order to keep things at bay and sustain their family through criminal means. Things are getting really bad. Desperation is in the land. And that desperation kicks in when you also listen to the viewpoint of 13 political parties who have put together a press conference and said, well, we will boycott the 2023 elections if the crisis in the land is not resolved. From Naira to few to the likes of that, 13 political parties are keen on boycotting the 2023 elections. In the meantime, you also do know that there's a court injunction that stops the CBN and the federal government from extending the deadline from February 10. The mock accreditation, INEC describes it as a successful one. Even though the questions I've asked and my colleagues and I have been asking is, how does the mock accreditation become so successful when the number of people that supposedly were due to be on queue to possibly be tested on or to test their PVCs were on the queue in the banks or in the queues in their homes or could not even afford money to get to their various possible polling units? How successful was that mock accreditation exercise? When you think about all the elements that come together in getting that done. The PVC's collection did end on Sunday. But INEC is not saying much about extension anymore. I don't know if they should be saying anything about that. But PVC collection has ended. Numbers. In the FCT, it's about 300 plus, 300,000, I beg to say, number of people with PVCs uncollected. That was some weeks back, and I don't know if those figures have changed, but PVC collection still run into thousands, hundreds of thousands. In those states, it's a similar number. In Abuja State, it's a similar number. But for old and new PVC collections, you'd find thousands, hundreds of thousands across the states uncollected. Yet this election matters to everyone. And yet this election seems also to be one that will make a difference, even though the efforts to make a difference is slowly going away. I'd like to share with you what the 13 political parties said about why they would boycott the 2023 elections if things do not go right before then. February 25 is around the corner. It's a date. It's an electoral date. It's a love date. It's a date for democracy. Take a listen to their viewpoint on this.
This is Morning Crossfire.
To the world that the 2023 general election would be credible, free and fair. At this juncture, we salute Mr. President for having the courage to take these decisions. We must admit that the President put Nigeria first and not the narrow interest of party. This is indeed quite commendable. We also salute the Central Bank Governor, Godwin Emefiele, for working out the modalities for these policies. We appreciate the President and the CBN Governor from shifting the initial deadline date from 31st of January 2023 to 10th of February 2023. Though we did not agree to it, but it shows that the policy was not draconian and was not aimed at hurting anyone or group. As we noted, our observation team have reported that there are no Nigerians rushing to the bank to make deposit anymore. It is our sincere belief that all the legitimately held old currency are back to the CBN. And it is only those who are in possession of illicit funds and are afraid to bring them out that are still in possession of the old currency more than 100 days after the policy announcement was made. It is based on the foregoing that we commend the President and the CBN Governor for continuing to insist that the deadline will not shift. It is our resolution that while the deadline remains sacrosanct, the Apex Bank can now concentrate on other things like ensuring that it identifies where the already deployed new Naira notes are being hoarded by the deposit money banks who have received these new notes from the CBN. Political parties are backing this policy 100% because they are going to improve the credibility of the elections. It is only election riggers, vote buyers, bandits, corruption merchants, and other accomplices that are against these policies. The Nigerian people are in support and are currently waging war against these identified groups of unpatriotic Nigerians who are deliberately sabotaging the policy so that the federal government and the central bank will succumb to their plot and cancel or reverse the policy. We hereby announce our resolution that at least 13 out of the 18 political parties in Nigeria will not be interested in the 2023 general election, and indeed we shall withdraw our participation from the electoral process if these currency policies are suspended or cancelled, or if the deadline is further shifted. Having stated our views clearly, we now bring to the notice of the nation, and particularly the security agencies, that we have intercepted very credible intelligence of our well-financed plot to instigate violence, disturbances, incite and provoke civil unrest aimed at undermining the president and causing a shift on the election. Painfully, we must state that this voice of dissent is coming from within the political party of Mr. President. Elements of the party that should have been the first to embrace these policies is the party championing the opposition against it. Quote, if the president doesn't want us to win our election, we won't allow him finish in peace, one of the governors told us. Gentlemen, this charge is being led by the governors of Kaduna State and Kano State, Malam Nasir Rufai and Abdullah Iganduje. Also with them are the governors of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State, etc. We hereby call on the security services to put these governors on watch list, as they are seriously mobilizing miscreants to begin as quickly as possible protest, which will now commence from Naira scarcity protests and graduate quickly to Buhari must go protest, which is the ultimate end where the president refuses to budge. In all this, we ask ourselves, what is the offense of Mr. President Buhari? Even though Mr. President is not our friend and ally, we have observed that his only offense is insisting to leave a legacy and conduct free, fair, and credible election. This insistence has made these few governors of his party to begin to speak ill of Mr. President. It is shocking that it is the same president that Malam El-Rufai eulogizes and worships that he now disparages and ridicules.
This is Morning Crossfire.
Well, that's clear enough on how things are building up around this. 13 political parties out of the 18 political parties in Nigeria on Monday threatening to withdraw their participation in the 2023 general elections slated for February 25 and March 11 if the central bank extends the deadline of the February 10 for Naira swap, which had been going on. And yes, it's about 3 days to that deadline for it to happen extensively, and there's a court injunction against them extending that. What a time. What a time. The rise within the same political party of the president, those challenging his viewpoints, and those who say, well, things can be done differently, and those who say things have been done on the side of the masses extensively, favorably. But then there are also motives to question around this time. It's a situation where the Naira is breaking out some measure of chaos across the country. Within the metropolis and within the rural areas, the scarcity is leading to all kinds of untold stories we can talk about only later. But for now, let's talk Naira crisis and the 2023 elections. What's your take?
This is Morning Crossfire.
Great talk show unravels your thinking, makes you stop to listen, engages you in a debate of opinions.
I believe this man knows what he is doing. He is a Nigerian.
And ultimately brings you to the king of talk radio, Femi D Live.
All right, then let's take your course for the next few minutes before we do go on the break. Okay, the numbers remain 0700-951-0000. Again, that's 0700-951-0000. You can also join in on 080-9597-4869. Okay, 080-9597-4869. Or try in via the WhatsApp line on 080-999-30137. Thanks for your time. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dr. Femi Diamale. How are you? My name is Abubakar calling you from Gwagwalada.
You're welcome.
Does the democracy represent the interests of majority? If 18 parties will be threatened of withdrawing from the next election, let them withdraw. Let them withdraw. I'm sorry. If this policy will continue enforcing misery, depression, hardship on Nigeria, then some few smaller parties will be taking a withdrawal. Let them withdraw. The interest of majority matters. This thing has caused deprivation on people, no cash, no job, no loss of businesses, a lot of negative economic indices going on. Some unknown smaller parties. Who knows? Maybe even there have been. I don't want to say it on here. So let them withdraw, and the policy should not go on.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time and your viewpoint. Good morning to you.
Yep, Dr. Femi D.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, please.
It's a passenger from Amali.
All right, welcome.
I agree with the political party. In fact, a lot of issues that have been tabled, the extension, and we know we're suffering. We're suffering. But we appreciate that the position has been less. But the people that are shouting now, like the governor of Kaduna State and the other people, they were to manipulate this process so that they should buy vote for the voters. We thank God and Mr. President stand firm on this so that there will not be extension. We suffer during Corona. We suffer, and now we will suffer again. But we believe that because of the elections, they should not extend anything. We will now see who will come with the bullion van and say, this buy vote of 10,000 naira, 20,000 naira. No. And the governor of Kaduna State, usually, like this political party, if Mr. President has been his worship place, now is the one that criticizing the president. The president.
Okay, Male.
We know that the governor has not been doing anything good today.
How do you know he hasn't been doing anything good? Omale, your statements are superficial. Thank you so much. How do you know he has not been doing anything good? How do you know it all? How does anybody ever know it all? That's something. I understand your passion, but let's treat our passion with factual statements to go with it. It's not only 30 political parties, but the PDP and Labour Party is also willing to follow suit. Others are proud of the country just because of Naira was redesigned. The governors are now talking because CBN has put sand into their gari. No going back, no room for bullion van democracy, says Emeka. Stay with me. After the break, we'll talk more.
Let's talk about the biggest
I keep my sunny side.
And the viewpoints of different people continue to weigh in with regards to the issues around Naira crisis and the 2023 elections. Oh, yes, many dimensions to it. Safety comes to mind. Security comes to mind with regards to how safe people are. And some say there may be a tendency for emerging protests. Many of you would recall that the president had asked for 7 days in order to bring this process under control and get the best of it. And yes, security operatives have gone on. They're going around banks. They're going around commercial banks to ensure that proper dissemination of this cash is made available to all who need it. And yes, few arrests have been done. In Abuja, I understand about 29 million naira was just kept aside by a commercial bank in Abuja, with the manager there restraining from distributing this money as duly wanted by the customers of that bank. And it gives you a source of concern. Would you rather have chaos break out in your premises as against allowing people access to funds that they dearly want at this time? Let's take more calls. The numbers remain 0700-951-0000. Again, that's 0700-951-0000. You can also join in on the WhatsApp line on 080-999-30137. Good morning to you. Good morning.
Hello, Femi.
Yes, how are you today?
Very well, Femi.
Good.
Yeah, my name is Sam.
Sam, welcome, Sam. Where's Sam calling from?
Yeah, Sam is calling from Katampe.
Oh, great. Let's talk.
Yeah, and well, first things first, I'm one of those who did applaud the policy, and I think that the only challenge has been monitoring. For one, if we all remember, I think specifically, this policy, started about in January. Now, the reason why I say January was because the whole of December and even in early January up until about the 13th, the CBN governor was outside the country. Now, for some of those reasons, best known to you and I, particularly with the case against the DSS being on his neck. And so you really want to ask questions about that. What has happened to that case? Well, since then, he's moved on, and right now he's even working with the DSS. What happened to those allegations? For some of us, we believe that it was merely political. And so you talk about the distractions that the CBN had when the policy did start. And then also, you and I have seen some of the situations with the commercial banks. And then also some of the things that have been put forward by Nigerians. It's, Nigerians themselves trying to distract the government of today from achieving some of their aims in terms of, letting the policy work. Some of them include, people trying to, ensure that the Naira trades and gains against itself. Although you want to say that perhaps, those who have spent POS operators who have spent time on the ATM queues would want to have value for it. But then you and I see the extravagant and the bogus, profits they have charged for it. And you really want to ask questions. Now, the ATM queues have become opportunities for people who, possibly had no business going there and then even trading faces. You go there in the morning, you stay there at 7, somebody comes at 8, and then you sell the space for 1,000 naira.
Yes.
And same thing with, some other situations, what the commercial banks have done. Well, the CBN, on their own part, have tried to, start the monitoring process and then try to see that, yes, these things work out well. But let's not also forget some of the reasons why this policy, was in the first place instituted. For one, I hear about people paying as much as 100 million naira converted to even dollars, as ransom.
Yeah, but those things are quite consistent. Right, yes. I would need you to round off in about 30 seconds, please.
Okay. Well, based on the situations right now, we will see that this has definitely taken care of some things. In terms of the security situation, there is nobody right now who's going to demand such kind of ransoms because they know it's not there. And then also when you talk about vote buying, we've seen the politicians begin to react. And then these same politicians did not react when ASU was on strike.
Surely.
Indian politicians did not react to security matters this way. So why exactly are they so concerned about this? Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Brilliant comment there. Master David Abraham on Facebook, watching from Bucharest in Romania, says, thank you, Femi, for your excellent and in-depth analysis. Thank you so much as well, Mercy David Abraham, for writing in. Dr. Mrs. Olebara from Owerri says, how else do we describe a failed government? Any government without direction is a colossal failure. This government comes up with laudable policies, but implementing them is where the challenge lies. Let not to stop the election, because we can't continue running in circles of 1 step forward, 10 steps backward. Must get it right in 2023. Good morning to you.
Family, good morning.
Good to have you on.
Thank you. My name is Emmanuel Ochari for the Freedom Wheeler.
All right, then. Welcome.
I want to advise Nigerians to stop attacking banks. Let us stop attacking banks as not even their property. It is not their fault. I think under functional democracy, the right of the peaceful citizen is a fundamental right. And I believe that the government has to press Nigerians to the end of the world, where Nigerians will come up and then bring the people against the government, not against the fellow Nigerians whom are also in the issue of pain with them. They stop attacking these people. What I discover in Nigerian politics.
Oh, there. Are you there? I want to have dropped off the radar with regards to this very morning. Looks to have dropped off the radar this morning. Okay, as we continue to stream live on right now, keep on and watching. For those who are watching on Facebook, it's at Nigeria Info Abuja on Facebook. And on YouTube, it's at Nigeria Info Abuja. Okay, let's keep the streaming going on. Keep your comments also coming in this very morning as we take them on. Now, yes, the listeners' debate on tomorrow. Yes, it's at 10 a.m. Kim will be hosting the debate. He'll be asking questions. And by the way, it looks like there's no PDP supporter here. LFC just messaged me now. Looks like we need somebody that will stand in to represent the interests of the PDP supporters. The listeners' debate. I presume there's an ABC supporter, there are Labour supporters already. We would have this debate a few times. But who is going to represent PDP? If you do want to represent PDP in the listeners' debate that takes place tomorrow, you're not enough to argue off Facebook abuse and the likes of that. Send an email right now to LFE. Don't forget to add your number as you send the email. His email address is lfeezy@nigeriainfo.fm. lfeezy@nigeriainfo.fm. LFE spelled ELEFFIZZY. Okay? lfeezy@nigeriainfo.fm. LFEZ@Nigeria. That's ELEFIZZY. That's the corrected one, the corrected version. ELEFIZZY. I can imagine him laughing in the car right now as I call out his email address and call out the incorrect one earlier. LFEZ@nigeriainfo.fm. Send your email right now. I want to be the person that sits in for the PDP tomorrow and the listeners think we'd like to take that on, okay? As we listen to you tomorrow, to really be of interest, to take your viewpoints and understand why you think the candidate of the PP, at least at the presidential level, is in a position to lead the country if he wins. All right, that'll be exciting to true. And that will stream live on YouTube at Nigeria Info Abuja. So go subscribe, click on the notification bell, and that would allow you to know every time we're streaming, every time I use the word. It will allow you every time we're streaming and what we're streaming out and the conversations that truly do matter when we hold them during this period of the day. I still have new comments coming in on Facebook this morning. Also, Francis Amani says, I'm watching from Magunzwe in Enugu State. Good morning from here. The issue of Naira and fuel crisis should be resolved appropriately. Save Nigeria from the menace. Honestly, these critical issues have posed a serious problem to Nigerians. May God help us. Also, Francis in Enugu State did write that in. Thanks for writing that message in. Ibabave Benga on YouTube said, good morning, Femi. How was your night? Why is it that the three APC governors taking precedent and sent to court just because of their own interests when ASU was on strike? Did they take the federal government to court? That's the question he's asking with regards to this. All right, more messages now. APC can keep crying for all we care, but this now note redesigning have come to stay. are not going back. Our prayers are with the president, Muhammadu Buhari, and we're enjoying the tears of APC because what we want. That's according to Chinozo from Chinozo writing in from Garki. Great. Chukwemeka says, no political party is too small. No political party is unknown. Stop looking down on someone is not good. We want peace in the country. So let the right thing be done. We must not continue we must continue to come to that to get it right. And the time be now, and the time is now. Let us be wise. Israel writes and it says, good morning, Femi. This is a confirmation of the assertion. The rich also cry. For some in the history of Nigeria, we see the powerful cry with the poor. This is how it should be. Nigerians are not enjoying the situation, but we are fully in support of this policy. And as for Governor Wike, I'm beginning to realize where I should put him now. He's losing his relevance, particularly on stands on his policy. That's according to Israel. Dre Wright, it says, Femi D, the versatile one. Oh, Femi D, the versatile one. I take it out. There should not be an extension of the deadline. But please, the CBN should put efforts in making sure the deposit money banks disperse the new Naira notes. Stray on my way to work. All right, good to know that. Thank God you have money. And I'm sure there are people who don't, but I'm glad you do have. Solomon from Niger State says, good morning. It's very shameful that bank managers are hiding new Naira notes. From a certain commercial bank yesterday, handed for 15% to every note that they will make available to me. Femi, who did this to us? Okay, all right, then that's an interesting one. Solomon, if you can read the name of the bank, I'd like to share with one of the directors in communication in the CBN. They should check that out. Let me know the name of the bank. Where? Let's share with them. Let them follow up on this. All right. Well, Elijah Abbas comes in to Lawan. Lawan is a major issue. He's won his senatorial candidacy in the Yoruba parts of the country. It would run according to the Supreme Court. Well, Lawan, last time it was Senator Smart Adeyemi and former president of the Senate. Senator did that. Were washing their dead linen at the red chambers of the National Assembly as to whose election was credible. But as God Almighty would have it, Smart could not return. And David Mark, that made his way in, only came to warm the seat. Well, who knows if Lawan can make it the next assembly? If possible, is he not coming to warm the seat like his predecessor? Because Kwara people did well to restrict Basaraki from coming back to the Senate. May God Almighty deliver my country, Nigeria. Amen. Lajagba writes it in. Good morning, Nigeria. Presidential contest is an election in which an aspirant solicits for votes from a majority of Nigerians, but not targeting a particular faith, ethnicity, or tribe. As it comes, candidates are not only to test their popularity, because I don't see them getting even 10%, not to talk of 25% in some states. Nigeria will vote a double-ized Nigerian. That's according to Ibrahim B. Alif, Zone 1 in Abuja, writing at in. Kenneth Villager says, I don't understand how can someone participate in an election like Senator Lord and the Supreme Court will declare him now? How? I haven't seen this before. Well, they said there was a second primary that did take place, and that's what the Supreme Court is validating still the primary election that would make its candidacy legitimate. All right, let's get back to the phone lines and take calls this very morning. The very subject. Lawan is a major. By the way, the telecom subscribers have sued the federal government over 5% excess duty tax now. It comes into play as well at this critical time. I also hear the killing Katsina. The number now has risen to about 100 as it stands as of this morning. Good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning once again. My network wasn't friendly to me when I was talking.
Yes, okay, yes, that's true.
Okay, my name is Emmanuel.
All right, welcome.
Femi, you know, I was talking about the attack Nigerians are making out to innocent bankers. Yeah, before this, we've been in Nigeria for a very long time. Bankers have not been this wicked. Not their fault, it's the policy of the federal government and CBA. And Nigerians should understand that they have rights. In under functional democracy, they have the right to air out their anger by the way of peaceful protest. I don't know why we begin to see where a stick hit our leg, ignoring that place and quarreling with well that. We should go back to federal government and ask them why. It appears that when they are standing on anything seriously like this, know that they are fighting for their personal interest And at the time when they come to the interest of them, they don't care. They don't, how can Nigerians be put under this kind of suffering? We are killing for everything, killing ourselves. I mean, it is quite fortunate. Nigerians should wake up. This cannot happen in other African serious countries, only in Nigeria. And people know that anything can come out and go back.
All right, well, that's some viewpoint to this. Okay, good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Femi. May God bless you. My
Yeah.
name is Harun. I'm calling you from Gwagwalada.
Arno, welcome. Yes, just let you know. Okay, before you do ask me your question, do you mind turning up the volume of your radio?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, good.
I want to Ahmed Nawaz did contest primary election with the other man.
Okay, so how it has played out is when he lost out, when he lost out his chance of of the first primary, what they did next was the APC in the state organized another primaries election in which it's believed he had contested in. And that's the one they said he won. And that's the one they approached the Supreme Court on to get a verdict on. And that's the one the Supreme Court ruled on to say he's a candidate.
Did they cancel the first primary?
Yes, that's the thing. Nobody seems to have been notified that the first primary was cancelled. Maybe INEC was. That's where they ruled on technicality.
So they got give us a credible leader in this country.
Amen. I'll say that to that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Well, technicality is law. Law is amazing. I love law. It's interesting because no emotions is supposedly involved. The Supreme Court will only look at this. And you know what plays out? The primaries of any political party is the responsibility of the party. However, they're due to notify the likes of INEC and security agencies that, based on what we have observed, the first primary election we did, something did not go right. There was overvoting. Somebody sued us and said, the first primary did not go right. Or just come up with one reason. And if that takes place, they get a court injunction to say, well, we canceled the first primary. Let everybody contesting the first primary come back again and contest again. And that is often a window of opportunity to get things back. It's a similar experience, almost but not the same, with what Akpabio did in his own opportunity. Remember, there was another primary contest recreated in order to allow Akpabio run for Senate, because he also was interested in the role of president at some point in time. And of course, the electoral law doesn't allow you pick up two forms simultaneously. And a lot of these men are smart enough to understand the electoral law, and they have legal minds who tell them how to go around it and surely enough get things going right.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you.
Yes, the doctor, I agree to do the comment from Kubwa.
All right, welcome.
Thank you, Femi. Nigeria is the capital hub of all form of wickedness.
How do you determine that?
I will explain to you. One, a man who did not participate in PDP primary is now confirmed by the highest court of the land, Supreme Court of the land, because he failed in a presidential bid. He now went and sought the man that wanted to resign for him to pick up. He says no. And I heard that man. Now, it is I've listened that it is the executive that controls the judiciary and the National Assembly. Secondly, the death toll in Katsina is over 100, because I've heard it from the sister station yesterday. Over 100. And the APC and their candidates went there, they were dancing community. And the new Nigerian Naira is found in the back. You had somebody say it this morning. I have said this. There are people who choose to vote in people who are not credible just because they are from their region or from their tribe or their region. But they don't credible ones. They don't want them because they're not from their tribe or their religion. That is why I said the capital of all form of wickedness is in Nigeria. That's why this country. Sometimes when I heard people say Nigeria was a great state, I say how?
Well, it's a thing to dispute.
Look at what Nigerians are passing through, and people are still, in fact, dragging their country backwards.
No, I understand your passion about this, but of course it is also still disputable. Some people will argue that how do you ascertain Nigeria is the capital of wickedness? But we do have a lot of wicked events. Yeah, I agree with you. We do have a lot of wicked events, but there's no capital for wickedness anywhere in the world, at least not that we know of. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm going to break away for today. Thank you so much for all you do and all your messages. Just so that you know, a federal high court in Abuja on Monday restrained the People's Democratic Party, PDP, from suspending or expelling the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, from the party. Even as Samuel Otom seems to have come back into the national fold of the PDP as well. The rally in Benue State confirms that, with the PDP chairman, of course, ascertaining that, yes, he's back with the main fold and is asking other governors to do likewise. Who knows what? You can read up on that story on the Wike's restraining order on nigeriainfo.fm. It's there on our website and all the stories that you would enjoy. Remember to subscribe all day long to the YouTube channel. There you find all the activities and past videos as well, exciting things you've heard, things you want to re-ascertain. Go on. Check it out on Nigeria Info FM Abuja. If you search those words out, you'll find us on YouTube. But if you're using the @ sign, that's at Nigeria Info Abuja, there you find us as well, showing up accordingly on YouTube. Facebook.com/Nigeria Info Abuja is a great place to also keep the conversation going. But for now, I'm done. I'm Femi D. Amelem. You can also keep up with me. I've been tweeting actively in the last few days. Don't worry, my tweets are safe tweets. I don't always look for trouble with Twitter. I don't like power to be dragged. I don't drag. They don't drag me. I just want to say what's in my mind. Let's keep that going. Femi D Live, you find me on all social media platforms. Good morning to you. I'm Femi D. Amelem. See you tomorrow.
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I do it every morning on Morning Crossfire from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 95.1, and I'm Femi D. Join the biggest conversation around the national politics every day in a way that is trustworthy, full of passion, and yes, covers the biggest politics and the stories that matter to you. See, you have all the reasons to find out what's going on in Nigeria and be engaged differently. Let's talk. That's the way